there's got to be other adaptive athletes. Well, doesn't look like there's actually that many. That's my goal, to raise awareness and bring more adaptive athletes to this amazing sport.
Man of Mastery episode 24 with Nathan Connolly was made possible by the Spartan Media Fest and its sponsor, ATP Science. I met Nathan while in attendance at the Spartan World Championship in Lake Tahoe, California, as both an athlete and an attendee at the Spartan Up Media Fest. So a big thank you to Spartan Up and to ATP Science for this one. For those who've been around the podcast for a little while, you know that its purpose is geared towards anybody really looking to grow, looking to take on a new challenge, get to that next level, get unstuck in their lives. And typically with a guest, I like to explore their mindset, their failures, their lessons learned, how they turn failure into success. But today's guest is just, he blew me away. I didn't even ask any of those things. I never even thought to ask any of those things. He just does stuff. I mean, he just laughs it off. He decides to do it, and then he just does it. I mean, he himself in this episode says, well, what's my excuse? Well, I look at Nathan and I think, well, what excuse do the rest of us have? Nathan was born with Spina Bifida, and doctors predicted he would never even walk. But by the age of 10, his parents had him out summiting Half Dome and other mountains. And now as an adult, a year ago, Nathan discovered Spartan racing. Since then, he's been tearing it up, and he's on a mission to not only spread awareness of adaptive athlete OCR racing, he is competing to be the first adaptive athlete to make the Spartan Pro Team, which is all able-bodied athletes. So Nathan's a pretty incredible young man with some incredible goals, some incredible accomplishments, and just a great attitude and mindset. I think you're really going to enjoy this chat. Before we jump in, let's do one listener review from iTunes. From Dr. Casas, 5 stars. And he writes, Mike is the Spartan Ultra race of the podcast world. Okay, thank you, Dr. Casas. Hopefully a future guest here on the podcast. With that, let's jump in with Nathan Connolly. All right, today I have Nathan Connolly with me. Nathan, welcome. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Hey, I thought I might just kick us off maybe a little differently than I normally do, but with a little story. So I've told you this, but for the audience, I was in Lake Tahoe about a week and a half ago here for Tahoe was Spartan's venue for their Spartan World Championship Beast course. And on Saturday, they had the Beast and the Ultra Beast for open and age group racers. So I was out there doing my Ultra, my first time trying one. This is about a 30-mile bid. You do a couple laps. And I'm struggling and picking and hiking my way back up the mountain on my second lap, trying to breathe. And there's a couple of us together wearing these purple pennies or vests that Spartan puts on the ultra racers. And we see this guy kind of skiing his way down happily, energetically down his beast lap, coming back down the mountain towards the village. Cruising along on hand braces, and he stops to cheer us on, like, you know, go ultra, you got this type of thing. And we're looking at him and going, like, are you crazy? Like, we should be the ones cheering you on. You know, the fact that you're out here, you got the conditions were so crazy. People are getting hypothermia. Pros are dropping out of their Sunday race, and here's an adaptive athlete just kicking it down the hill. So that turns out to be Nathan Connolly, who I had the pleasure to meet on the next morning, Sunday morning. We're walking past in the village, and I recognized him, and I said to my wife, "Hey, can you get a picture with me and this guy?" So my son and I jumped in. Nathan was really gracious to take a picture with us. I was honestly, Nathan, a little nervous to meet you. I'm glad you said yes. We had a nice chat.
Thank you.
And here you are on the show. So that's how it all came to be. Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, it's an absolute blessing. I'll be honest, nobody's ever asked me for a picture, so that was pretty awesome.
Well, glad to be the first.
Also,
I know you're on your way to big stuff. I'll just maybe do a quick introduction of what I know with you as you are you're a coach for other adaptive athletes who are looking at getting into or improving in obstacle course racing. I know that I may be the first request for a selfie since you've only been on the Spartan Tour for maybe a year or so, but I know there's more to come, and you've got some big goals. You're on a mission, and you've got some goals yourself. So before we jump into some of that, could you educate me a little bit more about your physical condition and challenges and what that means for you? And you've also told me a little bit about your inspiration and what brought you to Spartan.
Cool. Yeah. So I do have Spina Bifida. For many people that don't know, it means split spine. The doctor said to my parents that I would never walk. And, well, I wear leg braces. I can fully walk pretty much. I've done now 11 Spartan races, 2 trifectas, going for 4 trifectas for the whole season officially. Unofficially, probably about 8. Just meaning multiple laps. I did not put in a couple supers in my schedule, so officially they won't count. But I was a basketball ref for all levels up until 2017, and then I found the San Diego Fit Expo, and told my girlfriend, hey, look, there's a Spartan mini course. Why don't I just do that since I could never do a real course? Well, I just happened to look on Instagram and found Misty Diaz, who also has Spina Bifida. I saw her doing these crazy races, and I was like, you know what? What's my excuse? Like, she's an inspiration to me. There's got to be other adaptive athletes. Well, doesn't look like there's actually that many. That's my goal, to raise awareness and bring more adaptive athletes to this amazing sport. My first race was in January of this year. I did the Chino Hills Super, and then I did the sprint the next day, both days with my teammates. And now I'm just completely addicted and trying to get onto the Spartan Pro Team as an adaptive athlete, both racing in the regular waves and with Spartan Para. I want to do both. I feel like it's a huge possibility and not going to really let anything cause me to have limits and just keep going.
Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, these are serious races. People train, fully able-bodied athletes train and are daunted by them. I like a saying from you that I saw, or maybe it's a quote that you recast. It says, "I have Spina Bifida, but it will never have me."
Yep, and I live that every single day. I don't let anybody, step in my way, and I'm just going to keep going.
I love it. And just to be clear, so you're looking to join the Spartan Pro Team, which right now is not inclusive of any adaptive athletes. So you would be the first adaptive athlete on the Spartan Pro Team. And as you said, there's now not only the standard category of racing, but as of last year, and coming up here on the first anniversary of there's a para category in Spartan now as well.
Correct.
Yeah, but that's in Laughlin, Nevada, right? I ran that one last year. The super is set up for, 8 or 9 miles, but it's not super mountainous, but sandy and rocky and man, like everybody's doing the same course.
Correct. Yeah, it's definitely not Tahoe, but there's going to be it's not going to be easy.
I love how you just laugh it off. Like Tahoe, you were just cruising around like the happiest guy in the world, And then I see the next day,
Huh?
and you're like, oh yeah, I had hypothermia.
Yeah, that was. I'll touch bases on that really quick. So we were talking to my girlfriend and I. We were just hanging out at the venue after, and we were talking to Lindsay and Ryan, and they had taken off, and all of a sudden, I started to feel the major symptoms of hypothermia. Well, we got to the car, and that's when everything kicked in. So it was a blessing that it wasn't on the course, but you just kind of, with Tahoe's conditions, you just really have to just kind of laugh it off, because it's not every day that you're going to have every element within 3 miles. So
Yeah, it really was, right? It was
yeah,
down to freezing on Saturday. We had sunshine, we had rain, wind, snow, a good bit of snow, lightning, thunder. We got the whole show, and there were people who crashed on the course. I guess you're lucky you were down the hill, but there were people who it hit them earlier, and it's serious stuff.
yeah, it was. That swim really killed people. When I heard that the 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts at the top were clocked, I almost pulled out. I didn't feel it was safe, but in my brain, I was just like, you know what? I'm here at World Championships. It's my first year. There's people watching me. I'm not going to give up. So I just kept going and kept telling everybody, hey, look, at least it's not Utah, where they sent us straight up straight up the ski slope and back down.
So you've gone from earlier in life, doctors told your parents you'd never walk, to a year ago, you had no idea you could ever do any Spartan type of trail run obstacle course race, to
Correct.
knocking out quite a number of them, Tahoe being a monster of a course. And tell me again what you have coming up next. You've got a few really cool ones.
My schedule has changed a little bit, but I will be at Greece. I will be doing Laughlin, San Francisco Stadium. Looks like I will be doing that one, running elite, and then finishing off with Dallas and Dallas, Laughlin, and Los Olivos.
Okay, super cool. So Greece, I did that one last year, 3-race, 2-day format in Sparta, Greece. It doesn't get much more epic than that. I can tell you,
No.
I don't know if you've seen this. I don't think they publish any course maps in Europe. They've got some different obstacles over there. And that one, let me think. Super and sprint combination on Saturday was about 17 and a half miles. And then the beast on Sunday was 20 miles. So it sets up for a long, fun course.
Oh, wow. I'm ready for it.
All right.
So
You're going to have fun
bring
with
it
that.
on.
Yeah, you'll have a blast. And then in Laughlin, are you running the para category, the 4-man team race, or the normal race, or both?
I haven't actually fully decided. Most likely I will find a team and jump on and run team format. I also will be running with a group of military veterans that same day and running the super as well with them.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So.
1, 2, 3 laps. Just keep going.
Exactly.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, Misty was there last year. I think my son saw her. Yeah, huge inspiration to a lot of people. And then we also sat and watched during so you got people on the course all at the same time, but my son and I think he had finished his race, and we were by the big A-frame cargo net. So, up and over a sort of an upside down V or an A-shaped cargo net. And it was a team of 4, I think all guys, 2 of the guys in chairs, and one of the guys in the chair was blind. So,
wow.
We watched the team get one of the guys over, and then the second guy, the blind guy, and just, to see the confidence and the courage and the teamwork. There were still competitive heats going on, and people had just stopped to watch these guys. And I'm about to get choked up just talking about it. Everybody's cheering and clapping and crying all at the same time for this team going over this obstacle. It was awesome.
That's amazing. And that's, I want more of that. I want to see, 50, 60 of those types of teams. I just want to, if we have, 10,000 able-bodied people at a race, why can't we have another 10,000 adaptive? Like, we should just have an adaptive wave at every single race.
Right.
So that's kind of my mission. Just blowing it up and seeing what we can do within the next 5-10 years.
Nice. So what are some of the things you're doing around that? So we talked, or I mentioned, let's talk more about your coaching. So one of the things you're doing is you are a coach for people that may be potentially interested in getting into this. So I think you've said you coach locally as well as remotely. So tell me a little bit more about your coaching, who it's for. Is it for beginners? Is it for advanced athletes, everywhere in between? And just tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I just recently got into the idea of coaching adaptive athletes since I'm adaptive myself. And I coach locally over in Signal Hill, California. I do online coaching as well as, and I also do nutrition plans. I do personal training, but my main focus is OCR. We have an entire playground in the back, walls, cargo, rings. Anybody from beginner who's just learning about, the sport in general up to the competitive athlete. I've had a couple terrain race athletes recently and Tough Mudder as well. So, and they were both military veterans. One guy is an amputee. He's still not sure if he's going to do Spartan, but he's definitely signed up for Tough Mudder. But that's my goal, to get him into Spartan and watch him take over.
Right on. That's great. So you're working with athletes of all levels.
Of all levels.
And you've got the ability to work with people remotely through a number of means. But I mean, hey, you're in the Long Beach, you're in the LA area, so there's such a thin penetration right now of adaptive athletes into Spartan. I mean, I'm sure you've got a huge potential client base of folks that might be interested that you could help and kind of get rolling on it pretty much in your hometown.
Right. Yeah. But I'd also love to go global with the whole thing and really just start traveling and coaching other adaptive athletes around the world. Really, every division of Spartan, get it out there. Just have para be in every country.
Yeah, why not? So is it only in Spartan US right now?
I believe so.
Okay, and you mentioned from one of your races that you ran with some vets and a vet amputee. So I know one of the ways that you are helping out and also helping spread the word is through another charitable organization that works with vets called Merging Vets.
Merging Vets with Players. Nate Boyer started this a few years ago to really help combat veterans cope with PTSD. I met them in Las Vegas. They got me over the hurdles and throughout the rest of the course, and I just stayed with them. I also assisted with the LA chapter in El Segundo, California. When I was working at the golf course, we would teach them how to play golf.
Okay, nice. So they work through a number of sports with veterans.
Correct.
Hooked up with was it with pro and ex-pro players?
Correct.
Right on.
Yeah, mainly baseball and football.
Okay.
Correctly.
Got it. So do they have any official orientation or relationship with Spartan so far?
That I'm not positive on. I don't think so, but I think they may be working on something.
Got it.
So I haven't touched bases with them on it.
Got it.
But I know they were trying to get something going with Spartan.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know last year somehow we started talking about Courage Foundation, which has maybe somewhat of a similar mission. They're helping vets with PTS through a number of activities and teaming and things like that. And I think you had participated in the Burpees for Vets campaign last year, and maybe not even known that was run by Courage Foundation or Mark and his team.
Nope, not at all. I just decided that it was a good cause and decided to do it. Yep, I'm actually registered to break the Guinness Book of World Records this year.
Oh, really?
Actually, New Year's Day of 2020 is my official date. So I will be going for the most burpees in 24 hours, which is 7,950.
Most burpees in 24 hours. So I know there was a team record last year. So is this by how do they categorize it? Single, male?
So this is it. This is just individual. Okay. Yeah,
individual. 7,954 burpees in 24 hours. How does that break down?
Correct.
What's your plan?
I'm afraid to do the math, and I'm afraid to just even think about it.
Just go for it.
It was just kind of an impulse thing, and felt like I could do it, so I'm going to do it.
I somehow have a feeling if you have convinced yourself you're going to do it, then it's just going to get done.
It really is. One thing I'm going to add on to about my background, one thing about Spartan that kind of fits into my life is I grew up hiking and backpacking in Yosemite. So I've done Half Dome, I've done El Capitan, I've done pretty much all those big peaks all the way up until I was about 14, 15 years old. And then life got in the way and I stepped away, and now I'm back. So Spartan, I feel, doesn't have tall enough peaks for me at this point. I want to keep going higher and higher, see where my body says no.
Yeah, so, well, you do seem to keep doing that literally and figuratively. And it sounds like you've done way more than most of us, but I relate, and I know what you mean, that Spartan seems to have a unique and really good, effective way of somehow giving a number of us who, I'm in the same boat as you, grew up athletically, outdoors, sports, and life got in the way, school, work, and the beginning of a career and all that good stuff. And one day you sort of look back on it and you go, oh, there's something missing there. Right. I'm not going to go back to playing competitive level soccer. I can't keep up with an 18-year-old, but Spartan has a way as a sport of somehow enabling all of us as athletes again at whatever point in life or level we're at. Right.
It really does. The opportunities are endless with Spartan, and I'm just excited. This is a brand new thing for me and for everybody, really. I mean, it's not been around that long, and I'm excited to see what comes about the next year, really.
Absolutely. And so are there any other ways that you're working on right now that you're getting the word out about adaptive athletes and their opportunity in Spartan sport?
Right now, so I do have a YouTube channel, Coach Nathan Fitness is my channel. Adaptive OCR is my Instagram. People can just follow me there. And that's about it right now. I'm working on a website and a couple other good things coming to get the word out. Some apparel will be launched probably within the next month or two. Hoodies and T-shirts.
Yeah, for sure. Put me in line for merch. Yeah, I'll put your YouTube and Instagram links in the show notes for this interview. Have you gone after Joe DeSena? I don't know if you ran into him in Tahoe, or have you tried to get him on your program to amp up the message as well?
I would love to. I was unsuccessful in that in Tahoe. I was able to shake his hand, but he was in the middle of the walking and talking interview, so didn't want to interrupt that. Hopefully in Greece, I'll get to chat with him if he's there.
I'm sure you had a little bit of a hard time getting him in Tahoe. He's running around doing interviews all weekend, and he's got his hands full, including the one kettlebell that he's always carrying around.
45-pound kettlebell or whatever, yeah.
45-pound kettlebell. This nut, people were coming off the course hypothermic. He's in a short sleeve shirt. I saw him carrying his kettlebell into the coffee shop. One of the reasons that Joe was probably so busy up there, amongst sort of being a Spartan cult celebrity and running a championship and running a business, it was also he's got the Spartan Up podcast, and it was their World Media Fest. I was fortunate enough to be part of the Media Fest, which was sponsored by ATP Science. Great group, and they're really the reason you and I were able to hook up. So I want to make sure to thank Spartan Media Fest and ATP Science as well for the opportunity to have met you and to talk to you again here and to hear more about your story. It sounds not only amazing, but that you're really just getting started.
Yeah, Adaptive OCR was actually created by Alicia Lopez, who's the owner of the gym I work at. Really good friend of mine. That's also one of my coaches. She raced Tahoe with me as a pacer, and yeah, it was just a blessing to have her. And she came up with the idea. She approached me and was like, "Hey, why don't you coach adaptive athletes?" And I was like, "You know what? You're right. Let's do it." So this has been now 4 or 5 months in the making, and it's just kind of really kicked off already, which is awesome. So I'm just excited and really thankful to have been on the show and met you, and really kind of looking forward to seeing what the future holds.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited too. Excited for you and excited to see what's next for you. Really appreciate your time to come on and talk a little bit about this. And I know there's only big things to come. So I will definitely see you out there on a Spartan race course again soon. But let's do this again a little ways down the road when you're at your next big milestone. You got some more to share. And in the meantime, we'll keep getting the word out and see if we can get some other adaptive athletes headed your way, whether it's locally for coaching over to your gym or reach out to you from anywhere in the world.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Nathan, my pleasure. Thanks for coming on today.
Of course.
Big thanks again to Nate for making time and making that one happen. If you're around San Diego this Saturday or Sunday, October 12th, 13th, go check out Nate and the Spartan mini course down at the Fit Expo at the San Diego Convention Center. And also make sure to follow Nathan on Instagram. Go check out his YouTube. You'll find all the links for Nathan and for his other endeavors on the show notes for this episode at manofmastery.com/024 for episode 24. manofmastery.com/024. All right, that's it for this week, guys. Keep the feedback coming. Appreciate the support. Reach out on Facebook, reach out on Instagram, and we'll see you guys next week.